projects of the canal access. Ismail visits the development project east of the Suez Canal. The same issue is tackled in Al Masri Al-Yawm, where we continue to read its main banner. The government awaits the House of Representatives to pass the difficult files. Sources say the programs include rationalizing the subsidies and reshaping the prices of services. This is a little bit another story, but the government also go through a war or survival. This is what is said in Al-Yawm Al-Saba. The Prime Minister intensifies his visits to the ministries to carry out 20% of the Parliament program before the end of the month, concluding 6 national projects for roads by the end of December. Ma'am, to be accurate, this is a wrap-up or trying to summarize the activities of His Excellency Prime Minister Sharif Ismail. First, the surprise visit to Port Said and Al-Ismailiyah, and second, trying to follow up with the ministers to write the program of the government ahead of the very first session of the Parliament to introduce it to our new MPs, inshallah. Regarding the Port Said and Ismailiyah issue, I think this is a preparation for the visit by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to launch some projects there.
Today?
Yeah. And regarding the ministries, I think that this should be the story of the days. Every day there should be a visit or a field visit to one of the ministries, or maybe some of them. How do you see this?
In fact, I hope that our administrative system is changed so that the Prime Minister doesn't have to go to check himself what's going on before important visits by the President or before launching projects. I hope that we have a system that guarantees that work goes on without inspection of high officials.
To be a state of institutions, to be accurate.
Yes.
Without individuals. It's the institution itself and how it's run.
Yes.
It's running. Yeah. But I mean, whenever it comes to mega projects like that, we should admit that there is still bureaucracy. And even President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, when he met with the Italian executive manager of Eni, he gave his directives to eradicate all obstacles on the way in front of this company to continue its projects and its mission in Egypt.
Yes.
Does this need directives from the head of a state?
In fact, it doesn't need if we have proper system. But we don't, I hope we have this system. That means that the president will be left for the important decisions, and the prime ministers the same, ministers the same. I hope that we have everyone in his place does his work without need to be inspected.
Without waiting for his head or his boss to come and to criticize his work. Back to Al-Ahram, page 3, and we read more local news. A new high dam at Ataqa Mount, a huge project to produce electricity financed by China at the cost of $2 billion. The production capacity for the station would, by the year 2100, would be 2,100 megawatts, and the project would provide 2,500 job opportunities. A new hope for the future.
Yes.
And I think that these mega projects are the main hope for unemployment.
Yes.
Whenever we do have those kinds of mega projects, then hundreds or maybe thousands of job opportunities are going to be available.
And in fact, it solves an acute problem. And power is the driving force behind development. If we have enough power, there will be no problem with development. Every country that developed depended on power in the first place. If we take China as an example, they meant to provide energy enough to drive the wheel of development for years, and they have been developing in rates that have never been seen in the world, in fact, and it was continuous. If we want true development, we need power. And this is very important project. It will solve
A lot of
problems
and,
for
energy
Egypt,
of
for individuals and for the state.
the energy crisis, one of the biggest, and I think we are launching El Dab'a nuclear plant. We are
Yes,
now to launch this project with this dam in Ataqa. We are on the way all the time to sign deals with the international mega companies in the field also of energy. So I think we are on the right
And
path.
in fact, Yani, having the help of a friendly country like China will make it more easy for such projects to go on.
To read from Al-Ahram, headed by Sharif Ismail and Mohammed bin Salman, the Coordination Egyptian-Saudi Council holds its first meetings in Riyadh next week, enhancing cooperation in the fields of education, investments, maritime, transportation, and the peaceful usage for nuclear energy. As we were speaking, ma'am, about the Dab'a plant,
Yes.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in his speech mentioned a very important point, that we are going to exchange this experience with our Arab allies. Topping the list, the United Arab Emirates, which in which a reactor is going to be operating, inshallah, next year. And Saudi Arabia has a very ambitious nuclear program with 17 reactors to be distributed in the kingdom, in the Saudi kingdom.
Yes.
How do you see this kind of cooperation between Egypt and its Arab allies in all fields?
In fact, it's very important because I have always called for Arab unity, because this is the only guarantee for Arabs to survive in the face of challenges of our time.
In all fields.
Yes, they are challenged. Their existence is challenged. If they don't unite, if they don't help each other, they will not survive anymore. And it's more important when it comes to Egypt and Saudi Arabia, because they are the most important countries of the Arab region.
Yeah.
If they unite their efforts, if they work together, this provides a better chance for the whole region to develop and to face the threats they are facing
So
now.
this cooperation should be implemented or boosted in all fields. As you've kindly mentioned, energy, economy, security, fighting terrorism, you name it.
And policy, because Saudi Arabia is going to host Syrian opposition, and they are coordinating with Egypt. What's going
The so-called Syrian opposition.
Going on in Syria affects Saudi Arabia, affects Egypt, affects the whole Arab region. In fact.
From Al-Ahram front page, we read some news about the parliamentary elections, the second phase. The candidates secretly make coalitions, and the appeals shore the administrative judiciary. The war intensifies for 16 seats in Kafr al-Sheikh. Many appeals regarding the results of El Daqahliya province. The reports of the international organization say the age of the interference of the government in the elections have ended, and the third step for the roadmap is going on peacefully. During his visit to the judges and officers who were injured in Al-Arish attack, the Minister of the Interior says all appreciation to the sacrifices of both the army and police personnel in the face of the threat of terrorism.
And judiciary.
Sure. This came during his visit to the judges. And of course, our condolences to those two who were killed there, and our best wishes for a speedy recovery for those who are still receiving treatment. Ma'am, your evaluation in general to the second phase of the parliamentary elections, how did it go in your opinion?
It went peacefully. And the turnout was a little better than the first phase.
Yes. Exactly 30%.
Yeah, future of Egypt. They cannot stand idle, and then they criticize after that.
They will not have the right to criticize. Whenever
but they always criticize.
I do not practice my political right, then why I should criticize? Where, I mean, whenever it comes to practicing political right, it's a right and a duty in the same time, as far as I
Yes.
understand it.
Of course.
Still with Al-Ahram, and we read some international news. Lavrov, Turkey have exceeded its limits, and Erdogan requests to meet Putin. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan warns Russia not to play with fire, citing reports Turkish businessmen had been detained in Russia. Do we have a report here? Okay, now let's have some details about this in the coming report.
Erdogan warned Russia.
Back. Also, our last item is tackling the same issue, but this time from Al Masri Al-Yawm, with Lavrov saying Ankara exceeding the limits and Erdogan do not play with fire. Ma'am, how do you see the situation and how it's going to end?
In fact, Ankara is, Turkey is threatening all surrounding area. They are threatening Syria, they are threatening, just yesterday, they were threatening Greece. Greek airplanes intercepted Turkish F-16 when they penetrated the airspace of Greece. Turkey is looking at itself as if it's becoming a superpower that has the right to affect what's going around in every country, that has the right to interfere and meddle in the affairs of each neighboring country. And they give themselves the right to criticize who is doing the right. Russia has been helping in Syria. They have been helping the lawful regime. They have been helping the people. Whatever the West says about Bashar al-Assad, there was an agreement that elections will be run by the United Nations. And what if the people choose Bashar al-Assad? Turkish president do not have a say there, cannot object to what Russia is doing
But
now,
this
cannot
is
use military force.
The opinion by many. I mean, when Hollande, the French president, met with the Russian President Putin, they also were not
They were against Bashar
were
al-Assad.
not able to have a unity against Daesh, because they do have differences or disputes regarding the fate of Bashar al-Assad. And this was my question, by the way, yesterday. Who should decide for the Syrians?
And why don't we say that they are in a way supporting Daesh? All the time they say that they are against Daesh. But in fact, these differences mean that they are supporting Daesh.
Let's return back to Syria and to Russia and Turkey, just for a yes or no question. Because as we heard that Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that he is going to ask for meeting Putin on the 30th of November in the climate summit in Paris. Do you think Putin is going to agree and he is going to meet Erdogan?
Putin does not answer his calls back. He refuses to talk to him. Maybe he can meet him, but I don't think that the Russian situation will change when Recep Tayyip Erdogan meets President Putin, because he knows what Turkey did, and he knows that this was a kind of betrayal, because they are not supposed to shoot a Russian plane fighting Daesh. And this comes after reports about arresting journalists who revealed that Turkish intelligence were helping Daesh and were transforming. And in many places there were a Turkish consignment of rifles to Europe, and it was caught. Akhbar al-Yawm today is having a picture of Bilal Erdogan.
This is another story.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyhow, 30th of November is going to be only the day after tomorrow. Say, let's wait and see.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Hala, thank you very much.
Thank you.
By this, we come to the end of our Press Digest. Right after the short break, we are going to be back with the remaining part of the breakfast show. So stay tuned only on Nile TV International.